So one of the steps in my premium program is the delivery of the individual nutrition and activity report. After the person comes through the diagnostic period, normally 2 or 3, sometimes 4 weeks is needed, of tracking calories, food intake, and tracking weight. So after this period, I analyze the data. I not only look at numbers of calories, fat, protein, carbs, fiber, sugar, but I also look at what person normally eats. Do they eat same food all the time? Or do they eat the variety of different foods? What nutrients may be missing in the diet? And as a result, I produce such report where I explain what happened during these 2, 3, 4 weeks, what is the weight trend, how the weight changed. I explain how to interpret the weight fluctuation based on the diet, based on different circumstances of life. And then I explain how I calculated the maintenance calories, the calories that the client needs to eat to maintain weight, and what should be done to start gradually, sustainably losing weight. So I show all the calculations. I explain the theory behind losing weight, the energy balance. Most of you already know that, but I also explain how big the deficit, the calorie deficit should be for this particular person and why. Many people will be tempted to go on a very high calorie deficit, very low calorie diet for their weight, for their activity level. So many people do this. I literally have to persuade clients to eat more, and that the days they go for pizza or curry and feel guilty after that, they just achieve their maintenance level. They even didn't go into calorie surplus. And it's so important to understand that that's the life you live. That's the way you eat. You cannot live your life without affording going out with family for pizza or curry. Of course, it's better to make these family meals more nutritious, high in protein or high in vegetables, but food is just social. It's the part of our social life. Then we go, I explain what is good in their everyday activity and what can be changed. We not only talk about exercise, I not only advise exercise. What's more important than exercise is what the person does every single day outside of the gym. It is so undervalued. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Why is it undervalued? Why is it not popular? Why you will not see journal, a magazine with a heading walk more, lose weight, or buy a standing desk, lose weight, or why? Because you do not make much money on it. Fitbit will make money, Apple Watch will make money on that. Activity trackers can make money on that. Authors of the books about it will make money on it, but nobody else. Not gyms, not personal trainers, not YouTubers, not companies that is making equipment for the gyms and so on. The market is much smaller. The things that you can sell to make people, to encourage people move more, are very limited. So media is not promoting it. Always think, why the media promoting something? Why film on Netflix is filmed? Are there producers or even directors or investors in that film have the conflict of interest? For example, Game Changers is filmed and sponsored by people producing pea protein powders. Got it? So we really work with client on what activities they can change during their life. And if you have sedentary job, if you're office worker, and if you even have a very intellectual work, the work that needs to be concentrated, or typing a lot, it's mostly the matter of habit. I have to say, I don't have standing desk, although I work at laptop quite often, but I can afford 20 minutes of walks 3 times a day, for example. Also train clients, and this burns quite a lot of calories. But not everyone can afford this, moving more every day. So there should be like small changes. Walking meetings, when you talk over the phone, you have to walk, and so on. So one of my clients purchased standing desk and started walking to work. And while he is walking to work, he can be on the phone with his clients, or listen to some podcast or audiobook or news to be on the top of the game in his business. So I explained that, and depending on the client, I advise the activities. It can be lifting weights, especially if the client wants better body shape, tone, enviable physique. But it's not for everyone. Some of my clients only do yoga. Some of my clients do not have time for exercise at all. So I give them solutions for that. And I also explain fat, protein, carbs, macronutrients. I calculate individually the amount of calories, of grams of protein, fat, carbs and fiber they should eat. Normally this will be not the exact number of grams, but from 23 grams to 46 grams, for example. Again, it depends on so many factors. For example, if the client is vegan, they will need a little bit more protein. Or women will need a little bit more fat, especially in certain days of their period. And then I also create a document on how to stick to this calorie deficit, because to the given amount of calories, because although the deficit is mild and it is much easier to stick to it, you will still start feeling a little bit hungry after a few weeks of diet. And especially if you have a history of dieting and limiting some food groups, it will still be hard to eat in moderation. So I explain the physiological part of it, the nutrition part of it, what foods are the best to eat to be less hungry, to be more satiated, and to feel better on the diet. But also If there are any psychological difficulties, I give special tools of not resisting, dealing with cravings. So, for example, you want a cookie, but you know that if you buy the whole pack of cookies, you will eat them all. I teach you how to just eat 1 or 2 or 3 cookies and not worry about it, and you will be free to fill up your cupboard with cookies. Of course, for some people it may take 2 years to become totally calm about what's in their cupboard, but it's totally possible, totally achievable. In bad situations, of course, we go for the easiest way and just try introduce prohibited foods, previously prohibited foods into their diet. Gradually, there are some methods for doing so. But yes, sticking to even moderate diet, to even achievable, sustainable, pleasant diet, for some people can be a challenge. So I'm covering these too. I didn't talk about the foods that needs to be eaten to make sure that all the microelements, all vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids are coming into a body. But as an insurance, I suggest supplements. What are the best supplement brands and what this particular person will benefit from. This is optional. This is optional. This is not a must. You do not have to buy expensive supplements. But some of them are highly, highly recommended, especially when you live in England. So I give lots of examples, the pictures. If the person struggles with meal ideas, we even may go shopping together. I send them meal ideas or good websites or YouTube channels where they can pick these meal ideas up. It's not often that I really have to create a meal plan for a person. Because most of my clients actually already eat quite okay. So they have an understanding of balanced eating, and what we need is just slightly small tweaks to their diet, small changes, not like totally new nutrition plan. Also, your brain will rebel against it. So I highly not recommend following any nutrition plan. I teach you how to create your own nutrition plan depending on your budget, time availability, and ethical ideas as well. So yeah, vegans are very welcome, especially under the latest trends of global warming. Yeah, I'm also going to include the part on sustainable diet. So, for example, to reduce, to minimize the environmental impact, we need to change our diets. And it's not only reducing meat, it's not only that. So yes, we go through supplements and we go through the next steps. Now, that's the first action plan. We will be changing it probably depending on how everything goes. We'll be connected all the time, and maybe we'll have to recalculate a little bit the calorie intake, and also it will not always be the same. As you lose weight, you will have to eat fewer calories. But you will also have to decrease metabolic adaptations, because staying under calorie deficit for a long time will influence your hormones, will influence your behaviors. So that's why many people cannot stick to diet, right? And cannot maintain their weight. It's not because of their willpower. It's also because hormonal changes in the organism. So I will also explain how to minimize these changes and what can be done in the long term. For example, diet breaks, maintenance days, and so on. Christmas is coming. I would like to encourage you to start any day. Don't postpone it to Christmas. I will lead you through the Christmas. It's okay if you gain 1, 2, 3, even 4 pounds during Christmas. But we will minimize that impact. We will minimize the impact of Christmas. I'll give you the strategies. Maybe we will save a little bit of calories before Christmas. Maybe I will suggest you what activities to do to minimize the impact of Christmas time. Yes, it's November, Christmas parties started. Lots of social events, lots of alcohol. Alcohol makes us eat more. There are all these chocolates and mince pies around, but it's especially precious time to go through it with me, through this hard for diet time. I will teach you how to cope with it all and still enjoy your time with family. And yes, food is a big part of it.